Good morning, everybody. This is Zach at it again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and I'm very honored to have one of my favorite people in the world on the podcast with me, Mr. Thomas Craig. Thank you for being with us, Thomas.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
And we're here to talk about a very important event that we both attended. We didn't attend it together, but we were both there, and that was
Wish we did.
That was the epic concert of Mr. Sir Paul McCartney at Truist Field in Winston-Salem. So, and you scored free tickets to this event. How did that happen?
I did. Well, so one of my friends that I worked with, her kids were going to go, and they've seen Paul McCartney before, and they just didn't want to go. So she's like, well, do you want the tickets? I was like, well, yeah. So I got 2 tickets for free from my girlfriend and I.
Fantastic. Well, I cannot imagine somebody saying, I've seen Paul McCartney
too many times.
Too many times, so I don't want to go.
Well, it's a generational thing too. Like, I don't know that those kids really realize the gravity of who they were seeing,
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I took my 8-year-old daughter to the show, and she absolutely loved it. But
well, good.
But being my child and properly brainwashed as she is, her favorite band, her favorite band is Genesis, like her dad. So we did that last November, and that was her first concert. So
surprise.
So yeah. So before she was a Genesis fanatic, she was a Beatlemaniac, like her mama. She gets that from her mama. So I have seen, when Emily and I were first married, we saw Paul the last time he came to Charlotte. That was like 18 days after we got married. And
oh, wow.
And I knew that he would be good, but I had no idea that he would be that good. Almost 70 years old and playing for 3 hours. And then going to Winston-Salem and being almost 80 years old and still playing for 3 hours.
And killing it, too, yeah. He did great.
And absolutely killing it. Sure, his voice was a little weaker than when I saw him last time, but, he sounded terrific. He's 80 years old. He sounded great. He could play everything. He had more energy than my whole family put together. It was insane.
I don't know about that.
Well, well, maybe not Bella, but
yeah.
But it's insanely talented. It's very easy.
Yeah.
It's very easy to see. It's very easy to see why the Beatles were the biggest band in the world, because talent like that does not come along ever. But there were kids younger than Bella that were there.
Really?
I noticed, yeah. And they all had their Beatles shirts on. You could see, everybody from 8 to 80 that was there. First of all, that venue was insane. Nobody knew what they were doing. We couldn't get in. We would ask somebody, which way to go in, and they said, well, go around this way. And then somebody else said, no, you're going the wrong way, go around this way. And we, and it was, like torrential downpours right before it started. We thought, and, I can't go out in it because I'm, with this chair attached to me, I could short out. So it's like, are we even going to get are we even going to get to go? And then we finally made it in. People running over the top of me, which is not unusual. I'm used to that. But my wife got very heated, and she was like, he is trying to get through what you moved, But
really?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
I wouldn't want to see her mess.
No, you are right about that, sir. You would not. It was it was twice as big as, you know, and I've been lucky enough to go to dozens of concerts, but this was twice as big as anything I had ever been to. And I've never
really
been
bigger than Genesis?
Yes. Genesis was 15,000. This was the max capacity says 31,500 for Winston Salem. But I tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 40,000. It was massive. So, but
yeah, it was.
And you left early.
You're not supposed to bring that up, Zach.
which actually was not a bad idea considering the chaos and the traffic that it was. But I guess you didn't realize you were going to miss a whole nother hour of the show.
Correct. Yeah. So I was told that the concert was a 2-hour show, and that it was from 8 to 10, and obviously with the rain and the amount of people, they moved it to 8:30. So I was like, well, logically, it's gonna end at 10:30, right? So I was like, okay, we'll leave a little bit after 10, so we can beat the traffic, which we did. There was no traffic. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But when I was told, he did an encore and he played some other songs I liked, I was bummed, but I tried to be zen as I could about it. And I did get to see the legendary Paul McCartney, and my girlfriend and I danced in the back, and it was a good memory. It was a good memory.
Awesome.
And I'm glad we got the opportunity to do it.
And I know Megan. She is.
She's all right, isn't she?
Yep, she is. She is an OT like you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm a OTA. So occupational therapy assistant.
Yeah.
I'm her assistant I'm Megan's assistant in real life.
Right. Exactly.
At home.
Exactly. So Megan has done some therapy on me before, and did a great job, and I'm glad the two of you got to go and experience that. That's really great.
I am too, and I got to experience some songs I never heard before. I never heard Here Today before.
Oh. Right. That one, of course, he wrote right after John Lennon was shot and killed.
Right, I just loved it.
That one, of course, we'd heard it when I'd heard it the other time when I saw Paul, and every time that reduces my wife to tears. Every time. That's a very heavy song.
It is. I took a video of that. I sent it to my mother, and she was just like, "Wow, what an emotional song." Because my mother is such a big fan of the Beatles, and she loved it, and I loved it. And if he does it tours again, I will definitely be there.
Oh yeah. I don't. Emily, my wife has heart condition, and she has a lot of things that brought on like fatigue, and after we got in the car and went to Salem, she said, "Shoo, I don't think I'm cut out for these big shows anymore." So I don't know that we will, but I also don't know that we won't, because Paul McCartney coming to North Carolina is a very rare thing, and this may very well be the last one, and I'm glad.
Hope not, but
all we went through was totally worth it. I'm glad we did it, because if it is the last one, it's a really great memory, because you're passing along that level of talent and live showmanship. We're not going to see once these people are gone. There's a reason why they are the legends they are. And you mentioned your mom was a big Beatles fan. Were you a big Beatles fan also?
I was not. No.
No.
I mean, I do. I like George Harrison.
Right.
And I like, I like John Lennon, obviously, but this definitely gave me a better appreciation of them. And I also learned that they initially weren't supposed to be called the Beatles. They meant like the Beatless. Is that correct?
You probably are right about that. That I don't know. I would have to research. But
well, I'm a layman, so
but no,
that's just something I thought I heard.
I'm sure you're right about that. But I know you were like your mom. Your mom's a great aficionado of music, and
she is,
and so
she really is, and
so are you. Did she have the opportunity to see Paul McCartney before?
I don't believe so. No.
Oh, so she was jealous of you then.
Oh no, she wasn't jealous. She wanted me to have the opportunity. She's a very selfless person.
Yes, she is. And for
most of the time.
For those that don't know, Miss Dolores Craig was my 9th grade science teacher, one of my favorites, and she's my birthday buddy. We share a birthday, and
25th.
Yep, you and I are fellow Arieses because yours is just 4 days before mine.
Yeah.
You have the same birthday as my great grandmother, who said
wow, yeah, that's right.
Who always said to me, anybody's got a birthday in March, so you get to be in the cool club. And
well, I'm lucky.
Yes, you are. You get to be in the cool club. And you have the same birthday as her, so you can't beat that. I'm sure in her mind you couldn't. So she would have been 100 this year if she had made it. So yeah.
I'm just a few days away from being a Pisces.
Yep. You're right on that cusp. But you're in the Aries camp with me. So
that's right. The hotheads of astrology.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Isn't that so? Yes, indeed. Absolutely. But I mean, it was a really great show. But did you experience a lot of chaos getting in and getting out, or was that just for
the line? The line was pretty rough. It started to move, and then people were saying there's another line on the other side, and people were all walking over there, and I'm like, I'm not moving. I'm staying. Usually when that happens, it's like, when you're in a traffic jam and you switch lanes and then it stops moving.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, I'm just going to stay here, and it began to move steadily, and we were good, maybe 30 minutes in the line, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'd say closer to 30 minutes. And we were good. Before we went there, we went to a really good restaurant. It's called Sin Sin. So CIN Burger Bar.
Oh.
And Sin Sin, yeah.
So that was really good. Burger Bar,
it was
got
wonderful.
it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very good. And we got to watch the hurricane come through. It was like a hurricane.
Yes, it was.
Downpour.
Yes, it was. We were in the parking lot of the venue. Getting to the venue was not bad at all, and we were in the parking lot waiting to go in. And when we did go in, they had merch. They had merch tents everywhere, like in the middle of the line. So we were able to get out before. We were able to get out like an hour before, and we thought, oh, he's doing a sound check, because we heard him sing a couple of songs that ended up not being in the set list, but actually what we were hearing, he actually did a whole nother 14-song set list for the VIP people. So the man did 50 songs in one night.
That's insane.
And he just turned 80 years old like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that these young people can barely do an hour, and then that's all you get. Because the 80...
Paul McCartney comes along, almost a century-year-old.
Yep.
And that's insane. He's a talent undescribable talent. You know?
Yep. It's. I mean, whether they're your favorites or not, you have that just makes you realize this is why the Beatles are as big as they are. This is
the best.
You know, this is because you're not going to find that anywhere else. I was blown away by the whole thing, and Bella, it was the best thing because obviously you want your kid to have a good time who's never seen it before and want it to be a big experience for her. And it had been 2.5 hours, and I said, okay, this be about the last song. And she said, oh, Paul, come on, just 2 hours more. So,
oh gosh, 2 hours more.
Yeah. So that
just got some energy.
Yep. So that just let me know that I had done the right thing, that she'd had a great time, because Paul just 2 hours more, and it was almost midnight, and we're like, we do have to go home. We have 2 hours ahead of us to go home, but it was a great experience. I would never do that venue again, but it was a great experience. And
really, what issues did you have with the venue?
Well, I just think that there was no direction. Like, you ask people who worked there, like where do I go? And I mean, after we come out, they wave us out and say, no, you got to go this way. Well, we knew our car was in the other direction, so we ended up circling the whole stadium to get back to our car, because they were saying, go this way, and then they were saying, no, now that you've gone all the way around, you got to go all the way back around again. And it was limited.
So basically with the parking,
yeah,
was so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people working there not knowing where to send you or where you go in at, because they say the first thing they would ask you is, do you have floor seats? And floor seats were like $1,000. So I said, no, we don't have floor seats. And he said, oh, I'm not really sure then, because there's steps over here and steps over there. And it's like, well, we got to find some way in. They say I can get in. So
I think that's what we had with the floor seats. But to be totally honest with you, I like I said again, they're free.
Right.
But to be totally honest with you, my girlfriend, she's a bit shorter than myself. She had a lot of trouble seeing the artist. So I think we would have been just as happy on the grass.
Right.
To be honest with you.
We were
get down.
Yeah, we were in the stands. We were at the bottom of the stands. Actually had good seats for nosebleeds, but I mean, that was like the nosebleed seats. They were still like $150 each. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of money.
But absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Oh yeah, I agree. And Paul he made sure you got your money's worth. Sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing about seeing the older artists. They are there to do their job, and they're there to make sure that
your money, yeah,
that you get your money out of it. Because I mean, they've got their money. They don't need the money. They're out there because they know the people will come and see them. So they're giving the people, a good show, what they want, which was really, really good. So your favorite part of the show, was that here today, probably?
I really enjoyed when the drummer danced.
Oh yeah,
on video.
Bella liked that too. He was right in on it. I liked his horn section. I thought he didn't have a horn section with him last time, so I thought that really added to it.
Yeah. But my favorite part was probably just some of his storytelling. I really loved his storytelling. The story about Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I loved him talking about Liverpool and so like some of George Martin, some of his stories over the years.
Yeah, because he's been, all this history that we like to know about, this history of rock and roll. He was there. He was the one making it. And
yeah, that's right.
and I thought he did very nice tributes to John Lennon and George Harrison, which he did also the last time we saw him. He played something on the ukulele that George Harrison had given him, and then later at the end of the show, they did "I Got a Feeling" with
John Lennon,
with John on the video screen. And
well, that's the one thing that I wish I would have saw. That's the one that I missed. I got to see it on YouTube later, so I was happy.
Mm-hmm.
At least I got to see it later. But it was really cool that Peter Jackson he could do that. He could sync up the voices just like he was there.
Right.
So it was super cool.
Now, have you seen the Get Back documentary? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, no, sir. But I definitely think it would be worth a watch.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one where it's like a John Lennon? It's about John Lennon's life. It has, I'm trying to think of the actor who does it, but he does a really good job.
Was it Nowhere Man? Was that the name of it?
That might be it.
Yeah, I saw that years ago. It was pretty good. Or Nowhere Boy.
Okay. No, yeah, that's it. Nowhere Boy.
Nowhere Boy, yeah. I did see that years ago. Aaron Johnson?
That's the one. Aaron Taylor Johnson, yeah. Yeah, he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Just kind of depicting. It was really cool. It was talking about how he got a lot of inspiration from Elvis and some other, well, mostly Elvis. But that's good. I highly recommend it.
He had all the women at one point. I don't know if you were there for that, but he said, "Give me a Beatles scream" one time, and he had the women do that. And I knew a man. He's passed away now. He was like 98, but he went to a Beatles concert somewhere in some big city, and he said you could hear nothing. You couldn't hear the music. You couldn't hear anything but women screaming. I mean, it was impossible to have heard anything else. And I mean, I guess it was, just the electric sound and the haircuts and all that. All that was new, I guess, to America. But just the chaos that they caused, It's unreal to think of today.
It's funny because I saw another artist that created a similar, I guess, panic. It was Robert Plant.
Oh yeah,
from Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Similar. But luckily, I've got to see two legends now. So.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, Robert Plant's great.
I would love to see Fleetwood Mac next.
Now the price tag on them would hurt your feelings too, but I understand they are excellent.
Oh, really?
I have not seen them, but I understand they are excellent.
Yeah, I would love to see them.
Yeah.
What's the price tag on those? Do you know?
Well, I just know that I knew a couple of rich people that went and paid like $1,000 $1,000 a piece. But
oh wow,
but I'm sure they were probably like way up front. But
right, that kind of situation, I'd want to make sure I could get like a hotel and I could just walk,
right,
and not to worry about the traffic.
Right. Yeah. Now when when I saw Phil in D.C., that's exactly what we did. We got a hotel right across from the venue, and we walked there. And that was really something, because there was homeless people on every corner, and it was really that was a very eye-opening experience.
Where was this at?
In D.C.
Oh, yeah.
In D.C. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had only been to D.C. one other time, and it was on a 5th grade field trip with Scott. And, everything was...
I went on the same one.
Everything was in and out, and, but, going and experiencing at that level is really something. But anyway, I'm glad we were both there. I'm glad we saw it. I'm glad to get to talk to you. As I said in the beginning, you're one of my favorite people, and I don't get to interact with you near as much as I would like. But you're
ditto, Zach. I'm glad. Yeah, I know we need to get together.
Yeah. Well, just know, even if we don't, you're very near and dear to my heart always. So.
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. The same goes for you.
So, and give Megan a big hug for me, and I'm glad that you all did. She enjoy it?
Oh yeah, she definitely did enjoy it. She was basically there for me.
Right.
She didn't grow up a lot with the Beatles, so.
Yeah,
this was a good experience for her. But.
Yeah, Paul is definitely my wife's favorite. But like I said, when I saw him when we were first married, he knocked my socks off. So it was like, if we get a chance to go see him again, and you want to go see him, I'm right there with you. And it was really special. And it was really special to have Bella with us, because she has a really unique taste in she likes the old rock and roll like we do, and she can appreciate it, like very few of her peers could, I would say. So.
Well, that's good. You raised her right.
So I think so, musically anyway. So, well, thank you. Thank you very, very much for being a part of this. It means a lot.
Anytime. That's my pleasure. I'm really glad to do it.
It means a lot to me, as do you, and I hope we can get together soon.
That sounds great, brother.
All right. I love you, man. Take care of yourself.
Love you. All right.
We'll
Bye-bye.
see you. Bye.